Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Today's reading is called Night Owl, Message from the Goddess. And we have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 is the Morrighan, the goddess, the Morrighan, and she rules over death and magic. If you're drawn to this image, you'll choose pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have Shakti and transformation. If you're drawn to this image of Shakti, then you will choose pile number 2. And the message on this card is transformation. For pile number 3, we have Artemis. If you're drawn to this image on pile number 3, you'll choose Artemis or pile number 3. And the message on this card is focus. So those are the 3 piles to choose from today. Of course, you're able to watch more than one pile if that suits you today. And with that, let's go ahead and get into the piles. All right. For those of you who want to follow me on social media, my name handle on Blue Sky is Natalie H Astrology. And for those of you that would like a tarot reading with me, details for how to request one are in the description box below. And let's go ahead and begin. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the Morrighan, and today's message is called Night Owl, Messages from the Goddess. And we are going to go ahead and focus on the goddess's energy this morning and what message she is trying to bring you. Especially at your dreams and night. The reading is called Night Owl. So what messages are coming through deep in the nighttime from the goddess to you, pile number 1. Let's go ahead and see what messages the goddess has to share with pile number 1, please. Okay. We've got the 8 of Wands, the Page of Wands, ooh, and the Knight of Wands. Oh my gosh, and the 7 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. How interesting. Pile number 1. Boy, that's a lot of intensity and fire coming from the goddess, okay? It's a very playful, fun, intense, adventurous energy coming through here. Let's go ahead and see. And I feel like there's a message coming through already letting you know, pile number 1, the goddess is letting you know, I don't want you to miss out. Okay, I don't want you to miss out on something. Strike while the iron is hot. I don't want you to miss out on this energy that I'm bringing, okay? And it is very high octane, high octave, high energy, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look. We have Moon in Gemini. Should I stay or should I go? An indecision, okay? So maybe some of you are really trying to weigh out a decision here in your life right now. And sometimes when we're trying to make a decision, if we're taking too long, the decision kind of gets made for us. And I feel like the message from the Morrighan, from the goddess, is go for it, try it out. Take the decision, try it out, okay? We have your ending is still unwritten. It's never too late to create a life that you love. And some of you could be having a big question mark. Should I do this? Should I move forward on this? And I'm seeing a picture of a watch now, pointing at like a watch saying only time will tell. Your ending is still written in stone. It's never too late to create the life that you love. And this talks about having the excitement and the energy of a child, or the excitement and energy of a youthful person, okay? And just going like balls to the wall on something and just deciding to go for it, okay? And the energy is picking up speed. So there's the point of making a decision and moving on to the next phase here. We have hawk and spirituality. Fly above your day-to-day thoughts. Observe them from a bird's eye view. Okay, and for those of you seeing birds a lot, the Morrighan is definitely with you and is bringing her attention to you through seeing different birds, whether they're ravens, blackbirds, hawks, but definitely the hawk connected with this energy in your reading today, saying to fly above your day-to-day thoughts and observe them from a bird's eye view. Quieting the mind and detaching from your thought patterns puts you in a better position to take in messages from your spirit guides, okay? And I feel like, you know, this is the Knight of Wands. This is your spirit guides right here coming through to you as the Page of Wands. And they're like, let's go, okay? And motivated. And they want you to like see above the daily grind and the daily like, okay, did I pay this bill? Did I forget to put the toilet seat down? Did I do this? Did I do that? You know, all the little things in life that kind of come to mind, okay? And some of you could have realized, oh crap, I left the stove on, or oh shoot, I left my curling iron on, and you're rushing back home because you need to turn that thing off, or, you know, this type of stuff, okay? And, you know, with the moon in Gemini, we can be kind of distracted, or we can be kind of, you know, of two minds about something, or just a little bit distracted about what we should do. Our mind is kind of littered with different thoughts of, I need to do that. And it's not that, you know, turning off the curling iron isn't important, or, you know, did I feed the dog? Did I do this? Did I do that? Did I turn off my blah, blah, blah before I left the house? Did I, you know, and when we're rushing and we're trying to get out of the house really quickly and things like that, it's really easy to forget things. It's really easy to, you know, to kind of like mess up and things like that. But the goddess is here to tell you, you know, once you get those things worked out, like fly above your day-to-day thoughts and observe them from a bird's eye view. Okay, because there's a lot of energy and creativity there, and it's like, well, I don't know which direction I should go. I don't know what I should do. And I feel like the Morrighan is coming through and saying, pick a direction, okay? Pick a direction and go for it, because staying stationary is not something really that you want to do right now. We have facade and beliefs, okay? And you can see the face is coming off here. So it's like, is this who I really am? Is this who I really believe? And, you know, there's some wires hanging from the face here. And pile number one, this could be unplugging yourself from technology, or unplugging yourself from certain people, or saying, you know, unplugging yourself from a certain person in your life and saying, I'm not really like you. I'm like me. I'm not you, this type of thing. This could also be the facade about AI and technology and all these wires hanging out, and, you know, something overtaking someone's personality, or worries about something overtaking one's personality. Okay. Anyway, pile number one, I don't know how many of you are feeling that way, or things are just moving very quickly, and maybe some of you feel like you're behind with that, or you need to catch up with that. And the goddess is saying, you know, we are here to motivate you and push you to take action for yourself, to lead towards a more creative, dynamic life. We have flashback. People from the past return. You may work with a previous coworker or take back an old job. You get a second chance. Okay, so your ending is still unwritten. You get a second chance, okay? And this is where it's like, okay, go for it. And you're getting to try something again that maybe in the past you weren't sure about, is what I feel, pile number 1. We have here, I am disciplined. Your approach to life is an effective mix of both practicality and imagination. Your mind is stirring with creative ideas, and you have the organizational skills to manifest them into life. I am disciplined. Okay, and maybe that's something that you've been trying to work on because you feel like you kind of have been all over the place, or and maybe you're using technology to help you get organized, or you're getting a second opportunity to record something here because I see a camera. You're getting a second opportunity to record something from the past that you didn't think was actually possible to go back and do. Maybe for some of you that involves recording music or going back into the studio or recording yourself doing something creative or something musical or something sporty, or re-recording an interview that you did that you thought that you failed at, and you're getting an opportunity to go back and re-interview, or you're re-recording your audition tape and you didn't think you would get to do it, but you are. Okay, so yeah, taking advantage of these opportunities that are coming your way and saying, yeah, if there is an opportunity that comes back around to reapply for something or redo something, and it seems really fast, and you're like, I don't know if I should do this. I feel like your guys are like, go do it. We'll help you. Okay. We have mystery here. Mystery. All right. And this is the goddess reminding that not everything is for us to understand, right? Our biggest thing, our biggest challenge sometimes as humans is that we feel like we have to have everything figured out before we decide to try something or do something, right? And like we have to understand everything behind something before we can actually, but the mystery is part of the fun, is what I feel like. With the 8 of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Knight of Wands, the goddess is saying, have fun. The mystery of it all is part of the excitement of life. It's part of the excitement of living. It's part of the excitement of fun. Okay? And you guys could say, well, Natalie, I'm trying to figure out if this is real or not, or if I should do this or not. And I feel like the goddess is being a little playful in this reading, pile number 3 or pile number 1, and saying, you do your part, stay disciplined, stay focused with what you're working on. You know, take advantage of the opportunities that are given to you. Don't get stuck in indecision, and know that the mystery of it all is the fun. It's half the fun. We have here Starseed. What lights you up? Exactly. Yeah, for my pile number 1s who are coming to this reading, and you know, it's like, am I a starseed? Am I this? Am I that? There's a lot of, you know, people that tell us what we want to hear, and a lot of fake messages out there, and a lot of things that we don't know about the universe, really, pile number 1. And as human beings, we're not going to know everything there is to know anyway. The biggest thing for us as human beings is that we're creators, right? And that we have the power to move things in our lives and create what we want to try. And we don't know where it comes from. A lot of times we don't know where why certain things are happening to us, or how, or when, or we don't always know the whole mystery of everything, of how life is going to unfold, or why we met that person at that point in our life, right? And we don't always, and sometimes it's wonderful and beautiful just to sit back and appreciate the beauty and the symmetry in the mystery of it all. It doesn't all need to have a reason. It doesn't all need to be figured out in this moment right now. Sometimes, living with the mystery is half of the joy of living, is what I feel. Here is what the goddess is saying to you. And if you do feel like your soul has mysterious origins, and that you are a star seed, or that you feel this intense surge of creativity coming through your life, and you really want to take advantage of these moments, and you don't want to miss out, and you really want to get in touch with your true self and all of this, I feel like the Morrighan is here to guide you through that. But the Morrighan is also very mysterious and very elusive and mysterious herself. And she kind of laughs at, not in a bad way, but in a fun way. She kind of cackles and laughs at, humans, and how we're always trying to fight Seven of Wands, and why we're always trying to go to war against things, and how we're always trying to understand every mystery. And it's exciting, but at the same time, like, she's leading you, I feel like, towards a more creative path that gets you where you want to go, in a much faster direction, rather than questioning yourself over and over. We the fire element. Oh my God. Now she's just playing with us at this point. Isn't she? The fire element. Okay. And the question, is how to discipline fire, right? Fire can quickly become undisciplined and raging, or all over the place, or burn out quickly. It can harm others, this type of stuff, right? So how do we focus our fire? How do we discipline our fire? How do we have the organizational skills to take our fire energy to the next level? Okay, and Saturn in Aries is going to help with that. The Morrighan is really coming through for Saturn and Aries. Now, for those of you, if you don't know your own astrology chart, and you're like, I don't know, where is that in my chart? Do I have anything in Aries? Do I have anything in Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn that would be, pinging off of this Saturn and Aries? You can always message me for a natal chart reading, message in the description box below, or how to do that in the description box below. But basically, Saturn and Aries, Saturn is all about discipline and organization, and, and the boundaries and the limits of what we can do with the time that we have, and how, if we're more organized and disciplined, we can really put that fire to work. We can really get that fire cooking, okay? And fire doesn't really like to be contained, but fire also has to have a safe container. And again, I was talking about earlier, leaving the curling iron on, leaving the this on, leaving the that on, right? Like, yeah, right? We want to have discipline and organization when we're dealing with hot things, when we're dealing with fire. But I feel like the goddess is whispering to you, pile number one, what do you desire? What do you want? What feels exciting for you? What feels like you can reach out and grab it right now? What direction do you want to move in? Get above your daily thoughts of should I, shouldn't I, and go towards what it is that you're desiring, and put a structure around that so that you stay disciplined with it. Oh my gosh, look at this. And then we have more fire. Look at this. Fire is literally coming off of her face in this photo. And again, it's fire, fire, fire. Okay. Fire, fire, fire. And we have transformation, a radical change, giving up the old way to make way for the new, a quantum leap. Oh my goodness. Giving up the old way to make way for the new. Oh my goodness. Well, that is what the Morrighan is helping with you. She is helping you to make this quantum leap, to get this second chance, to really put what you want into motion, is what I feel. And it's the more exciting change. It's the more, it's the change that makes you feel more alive, which is where the Morrighan is wanting to lead you. And, you know, as we are burning down the old structure, we can feel ourselves engulfed in the flames, and we can feel like the old structures and the old thoughts and the old beliefs like melting off of us to make way for the new. And we have revolution, and that is very, very true. Make way for the new is what I feel is what the Morrighan is saying to you, pile number 1. So that is what I am getting for you, my loves, and I hope that that reading resonated for you. So much fire in your reading. Wishing you the very best. How exciting, pile number 1. Let me know if that resonated for you, and take care. Let's move on to pile number 2. Okay. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose Shakti, and today's reading is called Night Owl, Message from the Goddess. And I love this beautiful picture of Shakti with her hand touching her fingertips touching her forehead. So beautiful. And your word today is transformation. So let's find out what energy, particularly with the night owl, late at night, deep in the energy of the nighttime, through dreams, through, you know, when we are most open, basically, to the liminal messages coming through, pile number 2. Let's go ahead and see what messages the goddess is wanting to bring through for you, Shakti. Let's see for pile number 2, please. Let's see. What messages is the goddess wanting pile number 2 to know, please? Okay, I feel like she is already like saying things to me, like she's saying, we will not be rushed. We will not be like terrorized. We will not be, there's something about being hurtled into space on a frozen rock, which, you know, her metaphors, I feel like the metaphors Shakti is giving are very intense metaphors here. But it's basically like a decree, or even I hate to use the word, but religion, I don't hate to use it, pile number 2, but it's like a decree or a religion, or a way of looking at the world. So we've got justice here, we've got Prince of Wands, and we've got the Chariot. Wow. Okay. And we've got the Death card on the bottom of the deck here. Now, Shakti is saying here, I feel like this is her energy coming through with this Justice card. And she's saying that she sees all things, and that she understands all things, and that she can... that there's something here with pile number 2 with people making up reasons or excuses for how they do things in life, and how if we dig deep enough into the personality of someone, that we can see how they are like operating. If we dig deep enough into their personality, we can see where their light side is coming from and where their dark side is coming from. And Shakti is saying, I see all of that. I see the light and the dark. And she is saying that she's a neutral observer of the light and the dark, and that she sees it all. And I feel there's a strong message here about her coming through saying that she is watching over your heart, pile number 2. Okay. And that she is, it's almost like a big sister energy, or it's almost like a like how she sees things. Okay. But she says she's here to watch over your heart. I feel pile number 2. Okay. And with the Prince of Wands, this is the Knight of Wands and the Chariot. And she's talking to you about how people have a tendency to run away from their problems and abandon those that they love, and how that karma eventually catches up with those people. Pile number 2. Okay, that there's this song called You Can Run On for a Long Time, run on for a long time, sooner or later, the world's gonna knock you down type of thing. Okay. And it's a little bit with death card here. I feel it's a little bit of a harsher message with Shakti, but I feel like it's not directed at you. It's basically her saying that she sees the karma unfolding, and she understands why on a deeper level the karma is unfolding. We don't always understand that. We oftentimes with the death card, we feel like we got left with nothing, or we feel like like there's nothing left, or that we're just kind of like left with nothing when another person kind of decides to leave or abandon another person in that way. Pile number 2. Okay. And for some reason, she wants to talk about this energy in this reading, pile number 2. So let's see what else we have to, like we can't, she's very, she's very like philosophical, I feel, in the way that she's coming through, because she's saying we can't really stop other people from leaving. We can't really stop other people from, their karma and what they want to do and how they want to go about life. And if they choose to abandon their responsibilities, right? We can't really it's not very moral, and it's not very brave or courageous when people do that to others, but it does teach us about being brave and standing on our own, and going to meet our own destiny with full force, with or without that person. So pile number 2, I want to talk about that. Yeah, we have the sensitive introspective phase in the moon in Cancer, and belonging. We are about to have a new moon in Cancer actually coming up in a couple of days here. And I feel like this picture of Shakti is very, even her picture where she's touching the tips of her fingers to the top of her forehead, it looks like she is thinking. It looks like she is being very quiet and deeply introspective. And like we can understand things intellectually, but emotionally it can still linger with us, I feel like, is what she is saying. And I do feel like she's wanting to show you the truth about somebody in this reading, or a situation from your past with this moon energy. And but at the same time, and this, for some of you, this could be a family thing where you had to leave your family, or someone in your family left you behind, or you had to go and pursue your own path in life, because where you wanted to go in life, others would have held you back, or wouldn't have been able to accompany you on that journey either, pile number 2. But this, with the moon in Cancer, I feel like is saying that perhaps pile number 2, that you miss someone, or there's someone in your life that you miss being close to. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. It says, don't water yourself down for anyone. They can take all of you or nothing at all. Yeah. So this is about boldly deciding to pursue our own path after understanding the truth about something. And don't water yourself down for anyone. They can take all of you or nothing at all. Okay? And especially for those of you that have found yourself like feeling like an emotional caretaker or an emotional healer to others, and it has helped you find a sense of belonging, but at the same time you feel like it's really sacrificed your ability to be yourself in situations too. Okay, we have here B in productivity. It's time to examine your productivity. Disorganization and indecisiveness may be causing you to miss opportunities. Okay, and technically right now we're still in Gemini season, and we're moving into Cancer season. And part of Gemini season can be, disorganization, feeling indecisive, and that may be causing opportunities to pass you by. Okay, take a moment to prioritize your goals and get a clear view of how to get where you want to go and what it will take to get there. Yeah, and the Chariot is very much with that energy of getting a clear view of how to get to where you want to go and what it will take to get there. It's like, I have a plan. I know that I can do it. I'm a little scared, or I feel a little rushed, or I feel like I do need to go, or I feel like I do need to leave, or do need to take some action here, but I feel pretty rushed in doing that. And, we have this need to take very brave, straightforward action, and to move from one place to the other. And some of you may be doing this by yourself too, and you still feel an attachment to your family, or to someone from your life. Okay, where the Death card, where this situation, there's still an emotional attachment there, but the situation is over or ended. Okay, and I feel like Shakti is saying she is helping you to see, and her whole thing is not judging. Okay, she's not wanting to judge your emotional attachments to people, or why you still care for someone, or still love someone, or why you still feel attached to somebody. She's actually taking it, I feel like, from an observer perspective, and to say, admit truly to yourself that there's still like some type of an emotional connection to something here. Like, admit the truth. I feel like what she's saying is admit the truth to yourself that there's still some type of an emotional thread there for you. And even though if the situation's been over with the death card here, and it's okay. Like, we can, I think she's saying, like, it's justice, it's Libra card energy. I feel like she is saying you can do both, right? You can still leave or still move forward in your life, even if you still miss someone or still feel an attachment to something. All right. It's not like you can't like still move forward, right? And right, the productive thing to do is to be truthful with ourselves and say, I still feel attached to this situation emotionally in some way. I realize though that this situation is over, okay, death card, and I really feel like I wasn't able to truly be myself anyway. And I am, even though I still care about these people or this person, I have to move forward and focus on my goals, okay? And I feel like that is where she is really coming from. We have isolating thoughts, okay? And this could be where it's really hard to let something go because we feel like somebody needs us, or they're going to be alone without us, or we're going to be alone without them. So it makes it really hard to move forward emotionally. Okay, so these are things that Shakti is wanting you to, with the Justice card here, I feel like she is wanting you to really think about and say, really think where these isolating thoughts are coming from. Really think where these emotional attachments are coming from. Really, Shakti really wants you to look at the truth, the light and the dark of these emotional connections. And also, for those of you that feel like isolating, or you notice people around you are isolating, then she really wants you to think about why that is. I feel like she really is saying, think, I feel like. And that's where this sensitive introspective phase is coming from, is really thinking about why that is. And we have investment. Invest in your education and make big plans for the future. Take calculated risks, but save on something to fall back on. Yeah, and you know what? I love this as far as productivity and moving on with something. For those of you that are wanting to go back to school, for those of you that are wanting to invest in a class that you'd like to take, for those of you that are wanting to invest back into yourself, for your own self-improvement, for your own education, for your own moving forward in life. I feel like Shakti is definitely saying yes. And invest in your education and make big plans for your future. Take calculated risks, okay? We don't need to, she's very balanced. So she doesn't want you to just go and throw away everything, right? Like, she's not saying that. I feel Shakti, her energy, very quiet, very observant, very balanced. All right. And she's saying, don't feel rushed. Don't feel, rushed into making a big investment, right? Take your time with it. Take a calculated risk, but do invest in yourself. Do move forward with your plans for your future, for your education, for what it is that you want to do for you. She's nodding her head. She's like, yes, move forward with it. Okay. And we have here, I am tactful. You have a desire to succeed and will feel most accomplished when your work benefits others. Your intuitive awareness of what people want allows you to come up with innovative solutions. Yeah, you do have an intuitive awareness of what other people want. And I feel that that has been a double-edged sword, pile number 2, because you are aware of what other people need and want, hello, Moon in Cancer, that you don't that you have watered yourself down in the past in order to make people feel more comfortable, or in order to ease any social tension, in order to create social cohesiveness, taking care of people. And that's a very beautiful thing to be able to emotionally realize, like where people are at, what they need emotionally, what the situation calls for, how to like peace keep in situations. And that's a very beautiful gift. But if you feel like it has kind of like watered your personality down, right? Because Cancer energy can sometimes be like a smother blanket, you know? I mean, it's a beautiful energy, but sometimes it can be, and I'm saying this truthfully as myself, pile number 2, as a moon in Cancer. My own moon is in Cancer. It makes you sometimes, like, because you're so emotional and intuitive and you want other people to feel that they belong, and you can find yourself compromising yourself in certain situations in order to take care of other people. And God knows I have been there. And, you know, with this Prince of Wands energy, we can talk about, you know, having the audacity to leave and go somewhere and do something else, right? And in life, we want to build up the courage and the audacity, right, to go somewhere else and try something else and do something else, even if it means feeling like we have to leave whoever a little bit behind. Now, I know that that hurts, because if it's been done to you in the past and you feel really bad doing it, but at the same time, we can't guilt ourselves into like staying in one position forever, okay? So, I feel like you have a desire to succeed, and you will feel most accomplished when your work benefits others. Your intuitive awareness of what people want allows you to come up with innovative solutions to meet their needs. Now, in the workplace, this is a very amazing gift. Being able to draw people out and create a sense of belonging, whether you have your own intuitive business, whether you run a group, whether you work at a company, whether you have your own business, it doesn't matter. If you truly get what people are needing and how people are feeling and what needs they have and how you can fulfill that, then you're going to have some very loyal customers, pile number 2. Now, we don't want people to be dependent on you. That's the other side of it. But you will have like some very loyal customers, okay? And you are a very tactful person. You're very good at, you know, at respecting others, especially emotionally, I feel, pile number 2. And realizing like socially how you should behave in situations, you're very good at that. You are a social artiste, my friends, and you're very like sensitive, nurturing, and caring, but you're also, and introspective, but you're also very no bullshit justice card. You can see right into the truth, okay? And even though you can see the truth, you're not hitting people over the head with a hammer with the truth. You're being very tactful and caring about how you share those messages. So good for you, pile number 2. We have surrender here, and then we have Mini Tonkin, longing for home, belonging, and the original light workers. Oh my God. You know, Shakti, I just got chills, pile number 2. Shakti is an energy, a very peaceful energy. And Shakti has been around, like as an energy, as a goddess, as a life force energy for ever. I feel like she's been with us for as far back as mankind goes. Okay. And she's not like flashy, whatever type of person, goddess. She's not a person, she's a goddess, but she's not a flashy. She's more of a peaceful, meditative, emotional, like she really wants to help mothers with the moon in Cancer and isolating thoughts, like mothers who have postpartum depression, or mothers who feel that they are like failing or not doing a good job, or people who have not been like loved by their mothers, or people who have been abandoned by their mothers, or people who have, this type of thing. I feel like her energy, I'm getting very emotional talking about it. I feel like her energy is very soft and gentle and peaceful and mature, and a lot of the like things that we have in modern life are not really things that she knows, but she knows like the energy, I feel, is what I'm getting. And her thing is simplicity and keeping things very, very simple with how we live our lives, and not overcomplicating what we're trying to accomplish, and not overcomplicating what we're trying to do in our lives. Okay, her energy is very calm, meditative, gentle, and peaceful. So if you're needing that energy in your life, pile number 2, then open your heart to that energy, because I feel like Shakti is here. And she's more, rather than throwing 1,000 words at you, she's more about the feeling or the emotion, moon in Cancer, and helping you see the truth of things without really having to speak the words. You just know in your soul. I feel that is her energy. And to get into her energy and her levels of understanding, sometimes we do have to let go on a very deep level, death card, and let ourselves be transformed. And sometimes we do have to surrender in the moment if we're having anxiety and emotions, big emotions coming up, and we're feeling isolated and alone, right? There's a deep moment of surrender. There's a deep moment of peace. There's a deep moment of but knowing that you, pile number 2, belong to an energy that is much more ancient than like modern day society. And modern day society can be a lot to deal with. A lot of big personalities, a lot of egos, a lot of like people trying to push you in one direction or the other, that type of thing. I feel Shakti is saying focus, think, emotionally tap in, okay, surrender in the moment. And I feel like she's coming through with a deep message of belonging for you, pile number 2, and saying you belong, you are a part of this group of original light workers. And that is why you are so sensitive. That is why you are so good at intuiting other people and seeing straight to the truth and reading into the energy of the moment. It's because you are a part of that group. And part of what she is saying is like, shh, quiet, calm the mind. I'm here. It's okay. You're not alone, is what I feel like her energy is saying. And she's talking about investing in yourself and not watering yourself down for other people, being productive and being tactful, which I feel like you guys already are very tactful. We have Scorpio and I transform. Oh my gosh. Have you ever met a really quiet Scorpio, a really quiet, emotionally balanced, settled Scorpio? I have. I've met plenty of them in my life that are, and man, they are deep. They are intuitive. They're in touch with who they are. They're not trying to force other people to be like them, and they're not really being swayed into being something that they're not either. Okay, they're just holding space on a very, very deep level. And this talks about transforming, and also I feel energy level wise, for those of you that have felt your energy levels like waning or getting low and you feel like it's affected your productivity, I feel like, you know, Leo season, Prince of Wands, Leo season is going to be better for you. Your Cancer Leo season with the Chariot and the Prince of Wands is going to be better. There's deep changes coming for you. And I feel like it's happening physically and energetically as well. Okay, so if you've been in a deep phase of rest and needing to let go, I feel like you're going to come out of that phase stronger and more resolute than ever. Pile number 2. Okay. And I feel like Shakti is saying, you don't need to prove yourself or prove that you're right or prove that other people are wrong. You just need to be strongly in your own energy, is what I feel like she is saying. Okay. And she also just told me to check the barometric pressure, which I don't know, maybe that does affect you, pile number 2, or I don't know. I don't know all about barometric pressure, but maybe that does affect your energy and how you're feeling, or there's something about that. We have here the marrying maiden, a compromising situation, subordination, succumbing to seduction, low self-esteem. Yeah, this is where she is. I started off at the very beginning of the reading, and I was saying she's watching over your heart, and she is making sure that you see the truth of situations. She doesn't want you to compromise who you are for anyone. Okay. She wants you to be fierce about your independence, and I also feel like right now she's saying right now is not the time for marriage. It's not the time for and for those of you who are already in significant relationships and you're fine, that's fine. But for those of you who are not, I feel like she's saying, look at the chains around this bride. I feel like she's saying this is not the time right now for like marriage or deeper soul commitment with a particular person. Now, it doesn't mean that it isn't going to happen. It doesn't mean that that's like a never. I feel like what she is saying is that she's saying there's still like some emotional work here with the moon in Cancer. There's still some resistance with this scorpionic energy coming up here as well too. Some of you may not even want that anyway right now. And I feel like what she's saying is, like, here it says, don't water yourself down for anyone. They can take all of you or nothing at all. And yeah, I feel like, it's good right now to be focused on your own productivity and investing financially into your education and what you want to do, and focusing on yourself spiritually. I don't, for those of you that are not in romantic relationships right now, I don't feel right now is exactly the right time for that. There's a lot of people who are trapped in relationships that are very miserable. Just being in a relationship doesn't mean happiness, okay? And we never want to compromise who we are for a relationship anyway. And that's easier said than done, believe me, pile number 2, because we can all compromise ourselves in little ways here or there. And believe me, I've done it myself too. And if you are currently with someone and you feel like you have compromised your true self in little ways here and there, then it is definitely a moment to see that for what it is, and to really dig deep with this scorpionic energy for how to for setting yourself free from that. Okay, so pile number 2, that is what I am getting for you, my loves. I hope that reading resonated for you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings about the reading. Thank you so much, and take care. Let's move on to pile number 3. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose Artemis, and today's reading is called Night Owl Messages from the Goddess. And we are going to go ahead and check in and see what messages are coming through from the Goddess deep in the nighttime, deep in your dreams, as we're in that liminal space between waking and sleeping. Pile number 3. Start with a deep cleansing breath, shall we? I just did pile number 3 and it felt great. Let's go ahead and see what messages are coming through for pile number 3 from Artemis. What messages are coming through? Okay. All right, pile number 3. And, oh, we got the 3 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Love that. Ace of Cups. Ooh, beautiful. The Sun. Hello. Ooh, and the Tower. She shook me all night long. Right, pile number 3. That's my horrible singing for you. And let's go ahead and see. What an interesting image with the Sun and the Tower. Kind of gives me the feeling of channeling the energy of the Tower for your purposes. Like, just everything, if it falls apart, that's okay. I've still got me, and I still can start over. And there's an energy of rebuilding, I feel like, in your reading, okay? And being confident that you can kind of handle anything, pile number 3, that whatever is thrown your way in life, you got this. You can handle it. And let's see what else. Also, I feel like your physical health with the Sun and the Ace of Cups is is going to be doing a lot better for those of you that have had any issues with your physical health, or you've been feeling weak or tired. I feel like there's some big changes coming with that, but it's actually good. Pile number 3. Let's see what we have here. Ooh, we have let your inner hero out, moon in Leo, and heroism. Wow. Pile number 3. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. All right. And let's go ahead and see. Sometimes letting go is the best way to free yourself. Oh my God, isn't that funny? Yeah, and that's with the Tower. Sometimes letting go is the best way to free yourself. Even if there's nothing left and I'm the only thing standing there, and you know, I don't need much. I just need myself and a few things that I love, and that's it. And the best way to let go is to free yourself. Oh my gosh. Pile number 3. And let your inner hero out. I feel there's something about being wild and free. And Artemis does have that energy of being very wild and free, hunting and searching. And she carries her bow and arrow, and she's hunting under the moon at night. And sometimes letting go is the best way to free yourself. Let your inner hero out. And she doesn't really, Artemis, it's funny with her, she's not expecting anybody to come in and save her. She has the skills that she needs to save herself. So we have zebra and open-mindedness. There is more than one way of looking at things. You must be ready to accept alternative viewpoints and new ideas. You must open your eyes to new ideas and new ways of resolving problems. Yeah, and I feel like this is, like she's saying, don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to open your mind up to new ideas, okay? And there is more, and just this whole thing of, I'm not a damsel in distress and I don't need to be saved. Moon in Leo, okay? I can find creative solutions to my problems. I can rely on me. I've got me, okay? And yeah, and being very open-minded about what you're willing to try or what you're willing to do is also coming through here as well. Ooh, we have control tactics. Now, in this picture, you can see a girl wearing a high heel who looks like she is dominating a guy. All right. Now, for those of you that like being very much in control, whether that's sexually, whether that's financially, whether that's whatever way you like being in control. All right. And you're one sassy diva who is ready to pull out the whip and give a little spanking. Pile number 3. This reading is getting very unexpected, okay? It's getting very, very unexpected. And, you know, there might be some open-minded ideas about the way that you make money, right? Or the way that you get, the way that you choose to interact in relationships. Or, you know, it's like, I feel like what you guys are saying is, I'm not going to let anybody walk all over me. If anything, I'm the one doing the walking, okay? And, you know, as they say, these boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. Someday these boots are going to walk all over you. Now, I feel with the Tower and the Sun, you guys are really confident, and you're getting a lot of attention, actually, with this Moon in Leo. because you are coming through as like super confident and loving yourself and being really open-minded to whatever comes your way. Now, Artemis, she was extremely capable, skillful, confident. She don't need no man, pile number 3. She was running through the forest with all her other wild animals with her bow and arrow hunting. Like, she wasn't trying to hear it. And she could take care of herself. So I feel like you guys are definitely, looking at life as like Artemis is really coming through and saying, you know what, life is a game of Tetris, right? This tower looks like it's Tetris. And you try to put the pieces together, but if the pieces don't go together, well, fuck it. Let the tower crumble. You've still got yourself. You still got you. All right. You still live with love in your heart. You still want the best for everyone, yourself and others included. But at the same time, life is a game that we all have to play. And, I'm another player on the field and this is what I want, and maybe some of that for you guys is I want to be in control. Okay. Or I want to be the one that makes the rules. I want to be the one that decides what happens next. And I feel like Artemis is saying, get ready to have your world rocked. Some of you here could be becoming like the center of attention or have a lot of attention on you. You could be getting a lot of compliments and, blessings and messages of crushes and people liking you or wanting to be around you, that you're like, whoa, everything is like, everything, I'm feeling empowered, right? Because, and I know that you guys know that your own sense of self and your independence comes from within, and that life has been a wild ride and that you've learned to really depend on yourself and all of that. But I feel like you're becoming a lot more open-minded about certain things in your life, okay? And things don't have to stay traditional, okay? Artemis is a very wild, huntress type of an energy, and things don't have to fit neatly into a box, right? Things could be wild and things could be like eye-opening and awe-inspiring and confident and fun and playful, right? Moon and Leo. And, I don't know, maybe some of you will start selling feet pics for money. Maybe some of you will decide, hey, I want to be a dominatrix, or I want to do like submissive dominating type of stuff going on, or I like being the one in control, or I like to switch things up. Sometimes I like to be in control. Sometimes I like the other person to be in control. But the point is, I like to do whatever I'm feeling in the moment, and I'm not going to let anybody put me in like a box and define me. Okay. And put me in some traditional kind of mindset of, well, a woman couldn't be this way or a man couldn't be this way or whatever. Oh no, I am going to set myself free, and I'm truly going to be very wild and open-minded about the way that I am approaching my own self-expression. And for some of you, this could be the way you look. It could be your clothes, your hair. It could be your temperament is changing, makeup is changing. It could be, you could be making some big changes to the way that you see yourself, or you see your personality, or you see yourself functioning in the world. And actually, you're really happy with it, Ace of Cups, and people are responding to it very well. And You feel very uplifted and confident by the energy, and you're glad that things are changing, or you're glad that certain things have crumbled, because you're like, I didn't like them anyway. I wanted to try something different anyway. So I like it. We have make it work. You have all the tools you need to succeed, but you have to put in the effort. You excel at working with your hands and fixing problems. Ooh, make it work. Now, I don't know why I was like, make it work, working with your hands. All right. You have all the tools you need to succeed, but you have to put in the effort. Okay. And, yeah, the effort is the 3 of Pentacles, I feel like, on the bottom of the deck here. It's the consistent effort and the energy like that we gain over time, that builds over time. We have here, I am compassionate. It's your compassion that makes you shine. You're devoted to the greater good and have a strong talent for speaking up for others. Yeah, Moon and Leo, defending others, standing up for others, speaking up. And maybe for some of you, that's protesting, that's speaking up, that's not tolerating bullies. That's, Artemis bows to you, pile number 3, definitely. She doesn't put up with bullies or people like that either. Neither should you. And you're a very confident, person who's very compassionate, and you have a talent for speaking up and a strong talent for speaking out for others. Your soul is most satisfied when you are being of service. I am compassionate. Yeah, that's the Ace of Cups. You're coming from a place of love. You're not just rebelling to rebel or to be a contrarian or to make other people uncomfortable. You're truly open-minded and compassionate towards others. Some of you may be very open to different cultures, different belief systems, letting people crash with you or stay with you if they've come on hard luck. This type of stuff. I feel you guys are very compassionate and loving, and you do stand up for other people. You may push other people sometimes as well, pile number 3, but you do it from a place of love. Okay, if you're pushing someone, we just want to make sure we're not trying to control people too much, right? Or that we're not trying to dominate or control too much, but that we truly are, pushing others because we love and care about them and we want to see the best for them. But also, we're willing to let other people choose their own path, even if it's not something we would choose for ourselves. We're open-minded to listening to others and considering their viewpoints without it disrupting ourselves to the point of, we can understand different viewpoints than our own, basically, pile number 3. And I feel like Artemis is saying, I bow to you, because not only are you open-minded and you listen well to others, but you speak up for others, you're very compassionate, and you stand up for others as well, and you don't take shit from other people, okay? And yeah, so sometimes letting go of and sometimes we have to let go of things. Like, by this certain age, I thought I would be married. I thought I would have kids. I thought I would have this perfect life set up for myself. I thought everything would be like XYZ 1, 2, 3. But life doesn't happen that way, right? The Tower, life is unpredictable. Life is exciting. Life can be dangerous at times. Life can be we have to appreciate life, because we could be here one day and then gone the next, right? And right. And no matter what happens, if things don't go according to plan, you're going to make it work. And you're like the original MacGyver, pile number 3. Some of you may be too young to get that reference, but if something is not working mechanically, how can you kind of fix it and rig it so that it works correctly, right? And this whole make it work card, right? And even if something breaks down, even if something is not working correctly, like I can find a way to get it to work appropriately. Okay. And because of that, a lot of people may call on you to solve problems or help them fix their problems. Pile number 3. But you may also get a little bit annoyed and mad if people are not, you know, taking that advice or going with that or appreciating that, which is understandable. If people are taking something and not appreciating it, then that can feel upsetting. Okay. But I feel like, you guys have a side of you that is very sassy, pile number 3. And I feel like you need to have an outlet for that sassiness. Okay. And Artemis had an outlet for her sassiness and anger. Like she would go running through the wilderness on the full moon with her animals and hunting, right? For you, maybe you get dressed up in all leather and go rock across someone's back in your favorite high heels, grab them by the hair and say, "Did you like that? Did you like that?" And they say, "Yes, mistress, I love that." And then they deposit $5,000 into your bank account and you're like, "Ha ha ha." That type of thing. I mean, maybe that's it, pile number 3. But I mean, I feel like all people who have like a dominating streak within them, they also have to have a very compassionate Ace of Cups and loving streak within them too. So it doesn't get too overwhelming, right? But I also feel that some of you need an outlet to express your self-expression, the sun in the tower, zaniness, weirdness, unexpected self-expression, which you love and people respond to well, right? So I feel like the goddess is coming through to saying you need an outlet to express, to self-express, and to be the diva that you are within yourself, and to try new things, and to be open-minded and compassionate and self-loving. Like you need containers for this. We have strength. Ooh, I like it. Okay. And for some of you here too, this may involve like physically strengthening yourself up. This could involve working out. This could involve lifting some weights. This could involve like, feeling powerful, because I feel like you guys in pile number 3, like, the energy of Artemis is very wild and free. And it's like, I want to feel powerful and I want to feel strong, both mentally, physically, and emotionally. Okay. And I feel like you guys are strong and you're not going to let anything stand in your way. And you are going to stand up for others. Okay. And your emotional strength is what gets you through a lot of hard times, and other people through a lot of hard times too. I'm seeing this sign for Aries right now. So perhaps some of you have planets in Aries as well. But, this strength and this ability to channel your energy into something loving for yourself that allows you to be more self-expressive and wild is definitely something that is needed. And Artemis is like, I don't want you to play by the rules. I want you to be like super open-minded, and I want you to do whatever you want, essentially, is what break the rules, I feel like, is what she's saying. Okay. And do it from a place of love and compassion and strength as well, right? We have transformation here. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Oh, I love that. And this is very emperor-like. And this is where you are like the boss of your own world, where you're like super confident and strong, and also physically doing very well. I feel like pile number 3, for those of you that have been like physically low energy, no vitality, feeling like crap, I feel like there's a big, there's a big turnaround, an unexpected jolt of energy that just makes you feel so much better. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing is going on. And there is like this strength in who you are and recognizing who you are. Okay. And I feel like you're blessed with not only lunar energy, but solar energy as well. And I actually feel it's important to pay attention to your solar energy right now, pile number 3. Okay. More importantly, maybe even than your lunar energy, it's important to pay attention to your solar energy, which is, self-determination, self-confidence, self-empowerment, strength, control, just being yourself, being open-minded, all of that, right? And we don't forget the Ace of Cups. We don't forget the compassion and the love behind it all. But yeah, we have, focus on your solar energy, solar eclipse going on here. All right. And this could be, now solar eclipses are when the moon comes and covers up the sun, and then during the daytime it looks like the sun has disappeared. And I mean, they're extremely, especially if it's a total solar eclipse, it's really intense. Okay. And that can make us feel like the solar principle is all about who we are and shining who we are in the world. So when that goes away, it's like, well, I lost who I was. Okay. I lost the person that I was meant to be. I was afraid to be myself. I felt like I couldn't really express who I was. I felt like my personality was too strong and commanding, or too unusual, or too different, or too unique, or I felt like I really couldn't let myself shine. Like it would make other people jealous, or other people would try to snuff out my power. Okay. And I feel like there's been this deep, realization within you regarding your solar power, pile number 3. Okay. And the last solar eclipse that we had was actually in Aries on March 30th. There was a final eclipse, solar eclipse in Aries. And for those of you that are Aries watching this reading, and I mentioned the sign Aries earlier, then welcome to your reading. And, but yeah, solar eclipses are very intense celestial events. And they can be like where we're scared that something about ourselves is slipping away. But what I feel in your situation, pile number 3, is you're discovering hidden parts of yourself that you didn't know were there before. Because for whatever reason, they were hidden, or you felt like you had to cover them up. So that is what I feel is actually the message for you on this one. We have, pushing upward, steady progress, gaining confidence, accepting challenges, a promotion, receiving recognition. Yeah. And this could be, people are responding to you in a very positive way. Ace of Cups, people love what you're doing. They want more of you. Pile number 3. And for those of you that are currently working, you could see your work gaining a lot of traction, going viral, the Tower energy, like an unexpected exposure to you and what your message is and what you're doing. Where it's like, whoa, now all of a sudden everyone knows my name, and now all of a sudden my face is on everything, and I wasn't expecting that, but here it is. Okay. And this is also about gaining confidence and accepting challenges. Like, I'm gaining confidence with what I'm doing and with what I'm working on. And if somebody challenges me, I'm not afraid to be challenged. Moon and Leo, courageous energy. You know what? If somebody wants to challenge me, good. I'm in a really strong position, and you can't blot out my light, and I'm pushing upward and you're pushing downward. So if you come and try to silence me or you try to control me, it isn't going to work. Okay. And I feel like you guys have Artemis on your side, just telling you, yeah, it's not going to, if people try to do that to you, it's not going to work. You are free, and you will do as you please, is what I feel like Artemis's message to you is, pile number 3. So that is what I am getting for you, my loves. I hope that that reading resonated. Take care.